What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch back here with another NFL record prediction video. This time for the Jacksonville Jags. The Jags are a team that a lot of people are looking at as probably a rebuilding squad. A squad that probably doesn't have playoff aspirations, but that doesn't mean that you're still not excited to see them play and see their new players, see some of their younger players develop, and possibly be in for a few upsets. And maybe even a team that is better than a lot of other people expect. So in this video, I'm going to dive into their schedule and tell you the games that I think they have a good shot at winning and let you know the matchups that you should really be paying attention to in 2020. Before I do dive into the Jags record prediction and schedule for the 2020 season, make sure that you do Gronk spike the like button, subscribe to the Bottom Line View for more NFL videos just like this, and comment below your opinion. Let me know, Jags fans, what do you think their record will be in 2020? How do you think they'll do? And let me know if you think they're better than most other people think in the comment section below. All right, let's get started with their schedule. And I'm going to be straight up with you guys before I even get into this. I don't think the Jags are going to be a good team. Okay, so if you are going to comment that I'm a dummy because I don't think they're going to be good, then go ahead and comment that below right now as I am speaking at the start of this schedule so we can get it out of the way so I can stop wasting your time. Regardless, though, I will say this. I think Jacksonville will be a fun team to watch this year. I think they're a team that I'm intrigued to watch because there's quite a few things going on with them. I believe that they are pretty much rebuilding. I believe they're a team that is willing to give up this year, sacrifice this year, let's say, to have a high pick in next year's draft and potentially build their franchise from that point on. And I think this draft indicated, which I thought was a good draft. I really like C.J. Henderson. I really like K'Lavon Chaisson. I really like their first round and on. I believe that this team is rebuilding slowly. We still have to see where Yannick Ngakoue will go. But I don't mind what they have in some areas of their roster. I like aspects of it. I like their defensive line. I like their linebacker group. I like their receivers to a certain degree. I think they need work still. I don't believe Minshew is the guy as the franchise, but I don't think he's a bad quarterback by any means. So let's dive into the schedule. I just wanted to get that out of the way because I don't want to get all the hate. I actually hope the Jags prove me wrong, but let's start off in week number 1. I think the Colts will win. Reason being, okay? Big reason I don't think the Jags are a great team this year. I don't like their coach. I don't like their coaching. I don't like their style of coaching. I don't like the way they go about it. I don't like their schemes. I actually think, I think Gruden will improve their offense. I think actually that's an interesting addition to their offensive coordinator spot and might be a little bit better in regards of passing and some of their concepts all around. But I don't really love the way they're still playing the same defensive scheme. I still don't like Marrone as the head coach. I think they should move on from him after this season or whatever their plan is. And I think they have the wrong GM, but that's a conversation for another day. I think the Colts are an organization. When you look at them, they have the superior coach. I think they believe they have the superior defensive coordinator, as I believe. I believe they have the superior GM, and I believe they have the better quarterback in this game. And overall, probably a better roster, as well as probably the best offensive line in the league, if not, top 3. So I think the Colts will win this game, and I think they'll win it by running the football and being able to dictate the pace of the game, not allowing the Jags to tee off with like Josh Allen and their pass rushers and athletic front guys. So that's how I think the Colts will get it done there. I wouldn't be shocked if this game was close, though. I think the Jags can keep it close if Minshew has a good game throwing the football. Week 2, they play Tennessee. I believe Tennessee will beat them the first time that they play. I think the Titans are still a good team. I think they're solid. I don't think they'll be as good as last year, but I think they're a team that can run the football again. And I don't think Jacksonville really has a great front seven for stopping the run. I think they're very athletic and good pass rushing unit. but I don't really see much beef up front that can really handle an aggressive type run-heavy offense like the Titans, where they're very, very physical. And then defensively, I think they're well coached and could possibly confuse Minshew into some bad plays or bad interceptions. And I think the Titans are just a well-coached unit that's very, very good in terms of chemistry and preparation. So the Titans win week 2. Week 3, they play Thursday night versus the Miami Dolphins. This game could go either way. I would not be shocked, although I said the Dolphins will be 7-9 this year. I could see them going 6-10. I could see them going 5-11. But I think the Dolphins are probably a better team this year than Jacksonville is. And because I'm kind of on that hill, I believe the Dolphins will win. And the main reason I believe the Dolphins are better than Jacksonville, there's 2 reasons. I think they have a better pass defense. Their secondary is awesome. And the second reason is their coach. I think Flores is the superior coach. And you're going to hear this a lot throughout this entire video. So if you're getting tired of that, sorry, but you're going to hear it. Then they play Cincinnati. This is another game here that I think is going to be close. I think the first 6 games they play, all going to be close. First 7, first 8. I think really the only blowout games I'm looking at on their schedule here for Jacksonville are potentially Baltimore in Baltimore, Minnesota in Minnesota. So let's just get that out of the way. Minnesota's going to win. Baltimore is going to win. No reasons needed. The rest of the games are going to be close. Maybe they get blown out by Pittsburgh or Cleveland. I could see that happening. Maybe they get blown out later in the season by the Colts because they're not trying anymore because they're just trying to get a high pick. So I could see that happening. All right? So let's write that down. I think they will upset at least one of their division foes, and I believe the team will be the Titans in Week 14. I could see them upsetting the Texans once. I could see them upsetting the Colts once, maybe even in Week 1, and that may get you too excited. But either way, I think they could upset 1, maybe 2 division foes. They play Cincinnati, they play Miami. I could see them winning both games. I could see them losing both games. I could see them beating a team like the Bears at home in Week 16. I could see them beating the Chargers. Okay? These are all games that they could win. Those would games that I would circle. The other game I have them winning, which, there you go, I have them going 2-14. Let's just get this out of the way, all right? Let's explain it. I believe, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Houston, Cincinnati. I have them beating Detroit. Random win here. It could be Cincinnati, it could be Miami, it could be Detroit. I don't think they'll start the season 0-6. There's the reason why I have them beating Detroit. There's really not a lot going into it. You know, Detroit probably going to like a warmer climate here where they're not necessarily ready for it. I think Detroit is a team that they're the Lions. They could be taken advantage of in one of these games and slip up and lose one of these games that they probably shouldn't lose. And they're a team that's a little bit more built on defensively. They're more versatility and, hybrid type playmakers. I actually think that if Minshew has a good day versus Detroit or Cincinnati or Miami, depending on how Minshew plays in a lot of these games, they could pull off the win. I just don't think Minshew is the type of quarterback to carry anybody or to really put you over the top or win you a lot of games. I don't think he's going to lose you a lot of games, but he's probably one of the bottom starters in the league. And really, their offensive line isn't very good, and their secondary isn't very good. So maybe Matt Stafford has a good game, but I just see this one being a wacky game where Jacksonville probably wins like a shootout-esque 27-24 type of game where it's really exciting, and that's the way I see it. That could also be the game that happens for Cincinnati or Houston, like I said. But that's the way I see it in terms of their record. I think they're probably 2 to 4 wins this year. They're a bad team, but I think you need to look at the positives, right? I think you need to look and see how does Minshew play in some of these games where they're just outmanned. I don't think they're nearly as good as Baltimore. How does Minshew play? I don't think they're nearly as good as Pittsburgh. They're not nearly as talented as Cleveland. How does Minshew play? Okay? Offensive line-wise, does any of these guys improve? Because they've been pretty bad the last couple of years. Defensively, how do the young guys play? How is CJ Henderson? How does he look versus Odell on the Cleveland Browns? How does he look versus Devontae Adams? How does he look versus the top guys, right? So that's the way I look at it if I'm a Jags fan this year. I'm looking for the future. I'm probably looking at getting Trevor Lawrence, and I think he's going to be special. So if you get him, and that's indeed where I have the Jags, I have them getting the first pick. I think it's between them and a couple of other teams here that I don't necessarily want to spoil because I haven't predicted their records yet. But I think let's just throw Cincinnati in there still. I don't think they'll be number one pick, but I think they'll be near it. And even if they were number one pick, they probably wouldn't pick a quarterback because they just picked Joe Burrow. So it's interesting. I think Jacksonville's in a good spot because I think where they're at, there's a lot of teams that already have their quarterback. There's only a few teams that if they're bad, like I don't think the Giants, if they're bad, they're not going to pick a quarterback because they have Daniel Jones. Washington could pick a quarterback if they're bad. I don't think the Rams are in a spot to pick a quarterback. I don't think a team like the Panthers possibly could pick a quarterback. That's one of them. The Bears definitely would look to pick a quarterback. But like the Bengals and the Dolphins would not pick a quarterback. I don't think the Jets are ready to pick a quarterback. And I don't think anyone in the AFC West is getting first pick. So looking at those teams, there's only really a few that would really take away the Jags' opportunity to pick whatever quarterback they choose on picking. And I think that's why this year is the opportune time for them to suck. And that's why I have them going 2-14. So looking at this positively is the lens I want you looking at this through. Not just that I'm hating on your team. But that's my honesty. That's just me bringing my thoughts to the table. So let me know if I'm a complete dummy in the comments, or let me know if I'm accurate and I've brought some solid analysis to the table. All right? It's Mitch with the Bottom Line View. Thanks for diving in to this schedule with me. Hope you enjoyed. There's really just not a lot to say here. The Jags just aren't as good as a lot of these teams they play. And it's really as simple as that. And I don't think I hope they get a new coach. I hope they get a new GM. And I hope they get a new quarterback. It's as simple as that. And that's how you win in the NFL. All right. Peace.